guys, this is Winx and I haven't made a Winx Club video in a while, so I thought it might be time to really make some videos, and a lot of them. So I'm gonna start with the Winx Club card game tutorial. There is no video tutorial on this game at all, so I thought I could make one, Hopefully a good one. This is the Season 1 card game. I will get on the Season 2 things as well. And let's start. I have the board here. It is originally meant for 2 players, Stella and Bloom, but you can play it with more than 2 players. It's a very interesting game, but it's a bit more complex than the regular games, I guess. Let's go over the basics of the cards itself. There are the Winx cards, which are the representatives of the character you are playing. For example, if you're Stella, these are your Winx cards. If you're Bloom, your Winx cards look like this. And if you're Flora, they look like this. Then I don't have any other Winx, so don't ask how these look. Find them online. Then there are the power cards, which represent your friends, and these are the cards that you will be putting around your card as a circle of friends. They are always either charm, friendship, happiness, or courage. I don't have any courage. Oh yeah, there's still courage. And there are Bloom, Techna, Musa, Flora, Stella, and random Althea students in the original Season 1 pack. The random Althea students are most pointless, but you will get them a lot in bonus packs. They are very hard to get rid of in a game. And there is Musa as well. Did I mention her? In the Season 2 packs, there will be as well Flora and Pixies. And Pixie Bats. I also have a Pixie Bat card somewhere, but, well, I can't find it right now. It's one of the decks. Then there are the magic cards, which can do pretty much random things. You have to read from the card itself. If your English is not very good, you can think up random things that the card will do, because there is no translation on these cards. Like, example for my game, it has Estonian translation, which is on a really neat paper, huh? It came with the card game, for real. But it doesn't have any translations for the cards themselves, so if you're not very good at the English, like if you don't speak it at all, then you can just make up your own rules for it. There is, for instance, this card says, Knut the Ogre keeps messing up the Trix's plans. Play this card to let any player subtract 1 point from the die roll. So basically you can get them, if you get an 8, then you can make it a 7. Or is it the other way around? See, my English isn't that good either. So yeah. So I'm gonna be Stella. You need to put a ring on your pinky. This is actually Bloom's ring, but I'm too lazy to... I do have the Stella one. So you're supposed to wear this if you're Stella, because it has Stella's wings, but I'm just lazy. Okay, so actually both of the decks is originally supposed to have 50 cards, and if you put them in this case, they will get messed up. So it's good to count them, but I have so many extra bonus packs that I no longer know how many cards I get. So it's good to get this thing as well, because you can store cards in here. I store all this sorts of different stuff here as well, but yeah. So you start by taking 6 cards, which, considering I'm holding a camera with one hand, is kind of tricky. And yeah, I'm doing this alone at the moment, so yeah, you will need a second partner. Kind of boring alone. So this is 4 cards, I guess. You're not supposed to show them to your opponent, but since I don't have one, I'm just gonna show them to you right now. So when you get these fabulous Stella cards, you're going to shuffle them better than I have. So when you get these fabulous, what I call them, they're mirror cards, then you're supposed to start finding cards that go on each side of the card. There is like different traits. There is happiness, there is courage, there is friendship, and charm. And there's different colors as well. The rainbow means you can put anything. The green one obviously means Flora. The purple one means Techna. There is blue for Bloom, as you can see from this card. And there's red for Musa. So you just start placing those cards that you have that are the power cards around like this. You make sure those connect. And yeah, it takes a good knowledge of English mostly to play these games, and if you play it with someone who doesn't speak very good English, then I suggest you make up a lot of your own rules, because in the end what really matters is just you have fun, and that's it. So right now I have no other cards, but well, I could put this bloom over here. What I recommend is that when you get those rainbow things, you try to use these Althea student power cards, because they fit nowhere else than the rainbow one. When you get all of those 4 corners filled, you're supposed to get into battle with tricks. And you're supposed to roll a dice, which is a very different dice from the one that you usually have. And you're supposed to get a smaller number than the number that you have on the card that you have filled with all of the other cards. It sounds really complex, but it's really quite a lot of fun. But when I said that if you're not good with English, you can make up your own rules, is that there is a possibility of borrowing cards, like let's say I need this Flora friendship here, and my friend has it and I don't, and I can borrow it from my friend. But for that I must do this thing that it says on the card. For example, Bloom here has to tell me a story that will make me laugh. So if neither of you speaks perfect English to understand all these cards, then when I was little, and I've had this game for a while, you could just make up random stuff as well. Or, yeah, it doesn't have to be that strict. Of course, it depends on how do you want to play. I have ended up playing it the way that I just give the person the card without doing it. And after each roll of the dice, then you have to move the string from your finger, and the game is over when it reaches this finger and goes away from it. And you have to get 20 points. The way that you get points is that if you roll a smaller number, you end up getting the amount of points that it says on your card. And you can also use more than one card in combat with the tricks. You win this battle when you roll less than you have on the card, and you lose it when you lose it, all of your cards will go to the Cloud Tower as prisoners, and you can free them with a special magic card. So your goal is to get more than 20 points. It is quite hard, so sometimes I have ended up cheating, like adding together the points of me and my companion, which I don't get if it's wrong or if it's right, but you can always create your own rules. So I actually wanted to share some tips as for this game. As for there is a possibility to play with more than 2 players. There is, but in reality you're supposed to get Flora, Techna, and Musa power cards, not power cards, but Winx cards. And it is very difficult because you're supposed to get them from the bonus packs, and the bonus packs are blind packs, which basically means you don't have any idea which card you'll be getting. So I have one Flora card, and just one, and I've bought like maybe 6 or 7 bonus packs and never gotten more than one Flora. I've gotten loads of Stellas and Bloom's Room, that's awesome. I've gotten loads of cards I already have, which is what they do. And I've gotten loads of the random Althea students as well, which is another lame thing to do. What I recommend is to get, there is the Season 1 version of this game and the Season 2 version. I recommend getting the Season 2 version extra packs, because they are usually better. They are usually better. They usually get more Winx cards and power cards, as much as in my yes. I have gotten the Season 2 extra packs, but I don't have the Season 2 starter. So now I'm going to, if you're a Winx fan like me and you really love Winx Club, but you're not filthy rich, then I'm going to show you some things you will come in contact with. First of all, the Season 2 power cards are different from the Season 1 ones, but simply because they have the question or the challenge that you will give your friend if she wants to borrow this card. They have it written above, not below, like the old version. And also, these Season 2 cards, they have Layla in them. And they also have pixies and pixie bats. And now, of course, when you're going to get, when most of your card deck is Season 1, then you will have no colors for Layla or no colors for pixies. So if you get extra cards, you might have some, but you might also. So what you do is you still want to use them. You can use them with the rainbow colors, or you can just, for example, this Flora card has Bloom's Courage, and I don't think I even have a card that has Bloom's Courage. So instead you can just remember that you don't have this card you need, but you have Layla's Friendship, and then you can just pretend that this is Layla's Friendship. I know that this isn't very right, or it doesn't fit very well always, but it's a good tip if you want to use all the cool cards you have, and they won't end up matching each other always when you get the extras. And also now, if you want to play with a third person, then the thing that I would do, you do have to get some extra packs, but just give the one person, let's say you have just one Musa or one Techna, give it to that one person, and then give them some Stella cards and the Bloom Winx cards, just randomly, pretty much, so you all would have about the same number of cards. This is one of the most important aspects of the game, that you're all supposed to have the same amount of cards, obviously, but also try to remember that Stella can't have Stella's power cards. My cards get messed up a lot, and I don't feel like sorting them out, reading that there's exactly the same number. I try, but just the most important thing, that Stella has all the Stella Winx cards and doesn't have any of the Stella power cards, and has Bloom's, because Bloom obviously doesn't need a power card of herself. And the same if the person is playing to be Flora, and if you indeed have all the Flora Winx cards, then make sure she doesn't have any Flora power cards, because that would end up her getting nothing. And also this game board, it's only for 2 people, which I think really sucks if it's really, it's like it's meant for 5 people, but they don't really expect anyone to buy that many bonus packs, I guess, because the board is ridiculously small for 5 people. Or 6 maybe, because with Season 2 you can also get Layla, I suppose. So what is on the other side of the board? There is a checklist of all the cards you can get. I haven't checked those bonus cards that I have, because some of them are from Season 2 and there's no point for me to check them. But it is quite cool. The one very good thing about this is, well, if you're a perfectionist, you can also check them. This is outside, actually. But there is, you can, this is how you check them. Basically, this music card, it has a small number over here. Here it says Winx P19. And here I can look up Winx P19 and find out that this is Musa Friendship, or just, well, if I see it myself, I can make a tick if I get one more of those. And this one other really cool thing about this is that you can find out the names of random Winx Club students if you really are like a huge fan. And I just noticed this. I have this game for like 8 years, and I just noticed, well, not 8, but I don't know how long it's been out. There is, for example, this student, and they are called friends cards, they're not called random students, it's what I call them. And this person here is lovely Winx P52, and this is Mickey. Mickey is her name, so now you know what Mickey looks like. We can take someone else as well. And so if you see them in the series, you know, hey, that's Mickey. Because they are in the series sometimes. 36, I guess. Oh yeah, it goes here. 36. This is Katya. So you can find out their names that way if you're a huge fan, because they do all have names apparently. There was someone who's called Lin Poo. I think it's an awful name. And there's Amaryl. I don't have the Lin Poo one, I guess, through, because it doesn't have it. Yeah, I don't have Amaryl either. I think I do actually. Okay, yeah, this is what I wanted to show you, and that's how the board looks from behind. So yeah. Yeah. So these are my tips when it comes to this game, and I will be uploading a lot of videos very soon, so see you then!